Last class, we have discussed about the conducting tissues in plants, xylem and phloem. Now let's study the mechanism of transportation of water, minerals and food in the plant body. Two physical forces are responsible for the upward movement of water. These are a positive hydrostatic pressure called root pressure push and a negative hydrostatic pressure transpiration pull. Now let's study more about root pressure push. We know that the soil contains more nutrients and water. The cells of the roots actively take up mineral ions present in the soil. When more and more mineral ions enter into the root cells, the water concentration of the root cells decreases. The soil contains more mineral nutrients enter into the cells of the roots, and this creates a concentration difference. That is, the water concentration inside the cells decreases than the surrounding soil. As a result, there is a movement of water from the higher water concentration to lower water concentration, that is from soil to the root cells. The more water enters into the root cells creates a pressure inside the root cells. This pressure which is created in the root cells are called the root pressure. This pressure pushes the water as a whole to the upper part of the plant body. That means there is a steady movement of water into the root xylem, creating a column of water that is steadily pushed upwards. When the root pressure is formed inside the root cells, this pushes the water as a whole to the upper part of the plant body, that is to the leaves. We know that the xylem of the root and the xylem of the stem and the leaves, there is a continuous conducting channel for the water movement. This is called root pressure push. This root pressure push the water as a whole to the upper part of the plant body. Some physical properties of water like attraction of water molecules among themselves and also the attraction of the water molecules to the walls of the xylem are also helps in this movement. That is the movement of the upward movement of the water to the leaves. This root pressure is not enough to move water upwards. Then another factor which is responsible for the upward movement of water is transpiration pull. As you know, the transpiration is the process of releasing of water from the leaves into the atmosphere through the stomata in the form of water vapor. Transpiration is the process of releasing of water from the plant body into the atmosphere through the stomata in the form of water vapor. The water which is lost through the stomata is replaced by water from the xylem vessels in the leaf. This is because the evaporation of water molecules from the cells of the leaf creates a suction which pulls water from the xylem cells of the roots. This transpiration which creates a suction in the leaves, suction pressure which pulls the water from the xylem cells of the roots, that is to the upward movement. Thus, transpiration helps in the absorption and upward movement of water and minerals dissolved in it from the roots to the leaves. This is called transpiration pull. This transpiration pull and root pressure push are simple physical forces. The upward movement of water during daytime mainly takes place through transpiration pull, and during night time the factor responsible is the root pressure push. Now let us study the transportation of food and other materials through the phloem elements. The transportation of food prepared by the leaves through phloem is called translocation. Besides this organic food material prepared by the leaves, phloem also transports amino acids and other substances. These substances are mainly transported to the storage organs of roots, fruits, seeds and to growing organs according to the plant's requirement. This movement of materials through the phloem takes place both in upward and downward directions. We know that the xylem transport is mainly by simple physical forces like root pressure push and transpiration pull. No need of the energy there. But phloem translocation is achieved by utilizing energy. Materials like sucrose, that is prepared in the mesophyll cells of the leaves. These are transferred from the mesophyll cells of the leaves into the phloem elements, that is first to companion cells and then to seed tubes using the energy from it. When more sucrose enters into the phloem cells, the water concentration of the phloem cells decreases than the adjacent xylem elements. Then water from the adjacent cells enters into the phloem. This creates a pressure inside the phloem tissues, which causes the movement of materials in the phloem to a low pressure area according to the plant's needs. First, sucrose or the glucose enters into the phloem elements. This creates a decrease in water concentration than the adjacent xylem cells. Then water from the xylem cells enters into the phloem to eliminate this concentration difference. And as a result, a pressure creates inside the phloem cells. This pushes the food material to different parts of the plant body according to the plant's needs. Now let's study the differences between xylem transport and phloem transport. Xylem transport mainly involves water and minerals from the roots to the leaves. But in the case of phloem transports food prepared by the leaves to different parts of the plant body. Since the xylem transport always from root to leaf, it is unidirectional, only in one direction. But in the case of phloem transport, it is bidirectional. That is, in some conditions, from the leaves to different parts of the plant body, sometimes to the storage organs, and during unfavorable condition, from the storage organ to the growing parts of the plant body also. And hence, in this phloem transport, the transportation takes place in all directions and hence it is called bidirectional. Then the third difference, xylem transport involves simple physical forces like root pressure push and transpiration. But phloem transport is an active process which requires energy in the form of ATP. These are the differences between xylem transport and phloem transport. First point, xylem transports water and minerals. Phloem transports food prepared by the leaves. Xylem transport is unidirectional. Phloem transport is bidirectional. Xylem transport involves simple physical forces like root pressure push and transpiration pull, whereas phloem transport is an active process which requires energy in the form of ATP.